Hey library friends, because it's May, we're going to be doing some cool Star Wars crafts this month. So today I'm going to show you how to take a black face mask and turn it into a Darth Vader custom face mask. So what you need is a mask, a pencil, because you're going to be using Sharpie and you want to be able to sketch out those details first. And I'm using a metallic silver Sharpie. The metallic ones tend to show up nicely on this darker colored fabric. So to start, if you can't lay your mask flat, like this one has, a nose wire and stuff, so I'm going to kind of sketch it out while it's folded in half here. We've got this little nose bump. It's like kind of a triangle, but it's a round triangle. So kind of sketch that design out first. And you can see I'm looking at a picture of Darth Vader because from memory, I don't know if I could do it as nicely. So you can see how you can just barely see that pencil line on it, but that's perfect because you're going to be drawing right over that. So sketch out that little nose triangle, roundy triangle. I don't know, what would you call that shape? You tell me, I'm not quite sure. Then our next point that we're going to draw out here are these little circles. See, his mouthpiece here is just basically a big triangle. So we're going to measure about the same amount to these little circles at the bottom of his mask so that they're about equidistant from the center of the mask here. Once you have those drawn in, you can just connect the dots from the bottom part of your nose bump triangle to that circle at the bottom of the chin and do the same thing on the opposite side. And you can draw kind of hard with the pencil so that you can make sure that you can see the lines. The next step is, in his little face mask area, there are some straight lines that go straight down. So I'll sketch those in. Once I have that all sketched in, it's time to use my Sharpie to make those lines permanent. They're called permanent markers for a reason, right? I mean, the good thing is if you wash your mask frequently and it does get a little lighter, you can still just use the Sharpie to go over the lines again. I'm straightening it out a little bit. And then I'm going to follow and trace that line. Another cool option might be to use, some little fake metal studs or something that you could glue onto here, and that would give it an even cooler, like real true metallic look. You can see the basic shape is starting there. It's kind of hard to get on that crease, so I opened it up to color in those crease areas. Now I'm going to start on those straight lines, which be careful, flatten it out as flat as you can so that you can really make sure you're getting those lines as straight as you can. You could, use a ruler if you wanted a straight edge. If you don't have a ruler, you could always grab like a piece of cardboard that's straight, like a box or something. Use an edge from that to trace. Or, your pencil is straight. You can help, that can help you as a guide if you hold it in place. We're just going to add one more, again, along the crease. It's really hard to get that crease. All right, carefully. Don't want to go off track. Oh boy. Maybe do a light line of that first and then fill it in a little darker once you feel more, I don't need to be holding that, once you feel more confident. And I'm placing my finger along that edge under the mask so that I can have some good resistance there as I'm pulling that along. And then tracing out that bottom edge there. Now we've got kind of the basic shape, but if you look really closely, you can see in his mask there are these little itty bitty zigzag lines that go between this grate. So we're going to fill those in, and those you can just kind of be really loosey-goosey with, unless you really want them to be a specific shape and size. And then, of course, use your pencil first, because that'll give you a good guide. I think kind of the fun part about crafting is that if you make a mistake, you know, it just makes your product unique. Nobody else is going to have one like that. Just getting in all those little spaces. And you can see one side, I made them all kind of go towards the center, so it's not like all the way across. But you know what? If you did it all the way across the same direction, not a big deal, right? So you can also see here he's got some kind of triangles near his cheek, and that's something that you can just really easily sketch in by drawing up from that dot. Oops, flatten it out really nicely. And then once you get up to the top, for your next side, you can either actually measure, or you can kind of generally measure, okay, it's about there. And then do the same thing on this side. Sketch it down though. And there we go, it's coming together. There are other parts on his mask if you want to sketch in, like there's some chin details. There's, you know, the eye socket details. So I'm just going to kind of trace that out, dark or brighten that edge a little bit. Because really, I mean, his mask is all black, just like this one. But it's the play of light on it, because it's made out of, you know, a metallic material, whereas the cloth is just a cloth. Oh, wouldn't it be cool, though, if you had like a shiny mask? That would be awesome. Then you basically already would be Darth Vader. True. And I'm just kind of adding some details along this nose piece here, and capping my marker, very important, don't want it to dry out, and then we're done.